Hey there, you fans, and welcome to another Season 4 round of the Speed Racing Series presented by Middle Road Energy. For round number 5 today, we go racing at Kansas Speedway, a brand new track for the series. But unlike Portland a week ago, this mile-and-a-half track is projected to be real fast, and you got to be real bold to get around it. Speaking of Portland, Zayden Davidson for S3 Motorsports finally became a first-time series winner over there for round 4. And the win has allowed the driver of the number 35 to jump up 15 positions in the point standings. As far as that goes, Rambler Racing driver Vince Freeze has the points lead now by just a single point over James Ellison and Jesse Turner. So have to keep an eye on the race for the points lead as well. Who's going to end up with the first ever checkered flag from Kansas Speedway? It is almost race time here in the Heartland. It'll be a pair of Rambler teammates occupying the front row for this one, RJ Bishop and Scott Roush. Bishop putting that car on the pole. Definitely a shot in the arm that this 98 team needs, as he's coming off of back-to-back last-place finishes for rounds 3 and 4. So him and that crew are definitely hoping to convert this into a good run today. But we got a good crowd on deck here in Kansas City. What kind of racing will this track produce? And is anyone going to get caught up in a twister? Bishop gets on the gas as we are now underway for the inaugural race here at Kansas Speedway. No problems for RJ Bishop. He easily gets the first lap led by a few car lengths. Looks like Shade Eves in the 47. He'll try and challenge for second with the 81 Christian Vargas to his inside. Roush, the outside pole sitter, he's been kicked back to about 5th place. You got Vince Freeze in the 21. Hairgel Alonso in the 27 up here in the mix. Making a little noise. A lot of dodges up here in the top 5. That's good to see. You see the 47 of Eves get the run off of turn number 4. Trying to stay ahead of Vargas in the 81, the runner-up at Daytona. Looks like Vargas will get the advantage down to the inside, and he will sail past Eves going up into second. But you see that 98. He's handling so good right now. Got several car lengths over Vargas and Freeze as he's going to look to get help from his teammate Scott Roush. You got the 92 of Louis Dubois with a good qualifying effort this afternoon. He's running up here in the top 10 right now. And there's the hometown driver, DJ Curtis, who hails from the Missouri side of Kansas City. But nonetheless, this is home to him, as he came to this race as a go-or-go-homer. But what it would mean for him to get a good run or even a shot at a win here on home soil, that'll be fantastic for him. Mac Johnson, he also has had a slow start to the season in the go-go-home crowd. He's now up here. And here's another hometown driver, Sabre Fox, who has waited since Season 2 to compete at this place, and now she's got that chance. So the 19 and the 46 have some hometown pride behind them. They're definitely looking to have some good results today. You also got Jacob Puholtz for S3, Cody Lamas for the Martin Lamas team, and there's Shade Eves, who started in the 3rd, and he's all the way outside the top 10 and 11th. But no issues for the Rambler teammates. They are 1, 2, 3 at the end of 5 laps. Alonso in the 27, his 4th place position is in jeopardy. Mac Johnson looks to take it from now in that 88 machine. Looks like Johnson is in the preferred line going into 1. But these two drivers, well, 3 if you count Louis Dubois right here, with the starts of the season that they've had, a run like this would definitely be icing on the cake. As far as they go, Johnson, elevating from the go-or-go-home crowd. Alonso and the Ryzen team, they've made some great changes to their organization lately, upping up the performance of the 27 and the 2. Rigger, the team owner, finished 11th at Portland last week. And there's Louis Dubois. He's knocking on the door for getting out of go-or-go-home and back to where his other 2 teammates are, especially Turner, running with the points lead, as well as DJ Curtis. Just opportunities for these 4 drivers to have good afternoons. Looks like the Ford of Dubois will maybe try and help the 27 through on by Johnson. Alonso will retake fourth. As far as the other two teammates go, Roush and Freeze are also exchanging positions. But Bishop's like, I'm going to pay no mind to you guys. I'm just going to keep on driving my race and letting you two fight amongst yourselves. But the 50 retakes second from the 21. Roush and Freeze have reeled in the 98. And matter of fact, Roush is going to want even more off of turn number 4. He wants to show the way for the first time this afternoon. And this is just a great form of unity between these three teammates. As the 50 goes on by, Roush will clear for the lead over Bishop. Freeze trying to follow through in the 21. But you see all these three teammates, they just got it on lock right now early in the going here at Kansas. And their fourth teammate, where is he? Zachary Fitzwater. There he is. He's made it up to 13th right now, trying to close in on the 89 of Aiden Smith for position. So that is where the fourth teammate for Rambler is. Although Fitzwater has made plenty of progress up from where he started down in 27th. And it might take him a little bit of extra time to do it, but with how good his car is, I'm sure he's going to catch the top 3 eventually. Out of turn 4, here comes your happy first winner from a week ago, Zayden Davidson for the S3 Motorsports team. Like I mentioned, that team badly needed that victory, as what a struggling start to the season they've had, but that gave him a little bit of light, at least, that victory has for Davidson. But he's running all the way back in 25th. Didn't get the ideal qualifying result that he wanted. Matter of fact, there's the guy who finished second to him, Charles Sanford, his team owner. As these are the guys that finished 1-2 at Portland, but right now they're running P24, P25. And behind Davidson and Sanford, you got the second place point man, James Ellison, in 26th. Because he's also hanging back here in the deep 20s with his teammate, as well as the 66, Angelo Del Vecchio, running 22nd. So 3 of the Joseph Strigley cars not exactly up to speed in this early part of the race. Where's their boss, Joseph Strigley? He's up in 13th position right now in the 11 machine, right behind Aiden Smith. And anyway, back to Davidson. At least him and that 35 team can ride on the high from that victory at Portland, but he's just chilling in the mid-pack right now. But maybe if a caution comes out, that 35 team can work on that car and maybe make it better. As we venture our way back here, what on earth has happened to the 81 of Vargas? He was running as high as second place at the start of this race, and now he's dropped all the way back to P37. Ouch. Not quite sure what happened that's caused that 81 to fall that far back. As you see, he's just struggling to get around Sean Ard for 36. But you can just see the speed that the 81 had in the short term just isn't holding up in the long term. And that sucks to see for him. And matter of fact, he's got a couple teammates that aren't doing much better. Lane Sanders here in 35th. Griffin Lapo McDermott in 33rd, the California winner. So 3 of the Spa cars not really doing so hot right now. Major Robinson is the highest running car for that team at 21st. Trying to make a move on Eric Sadler for P20. That's the status of those 3 teammates right there. Matter of fact, behind Vargas, let's talk a little bit about this 78 team, Furry Road Motorsports. This is their home track as well. Caleb Rose driving this car as he took over the 38th position from Angel Gutierrez. But this 78 team, Furry Road Motorsports, their boss, Saber Fox, is running in the top 15. But this 78 of Caleb Rose, their goal is just to have a nice, clean day here on home turf and maybe be around there for the end and maybe have a good result. So that'll be the goal of this 78 car too. And looks like another switcheroo for the lead, possibly between the Rambler teammates. Bishop now to the inside of Roush. He draws even with the 50 car down the back straightaway. And Freeze, I guess it really doesn't matter which driver he goes with. I mean, a Rambler car is going to have the lead no matter what. Looks like he's going to go with the 98, push that Reese's Dodge through. Bishop is going to reclaim the lead at lap 27 here at Kansas. And their other teammate, Fitzwater, he's now made it up to 6th. So that Foster's Dodge also making some good waves here up in the top 10. And Hergel Alonso's strong day continues in that 27 Goodies car up to 5th. Matter of fact, Mac Johnson, he's basically the meat in the middle of the Dodge sandwich. He's the only Ford up in the top 5 running P4. As there goes Fitzwater down to the inside of Alonso. Here's Jacob Verholtz, who got a strong 7th place at Portland in the 03. He wants to maybe give the 7th some assistance. Hood just tucking behind him right there. But now Bishop shows the way again, but right now it's all the Rambler show. Back up here, Fitzwater is broken up into the top 5, and he's now going to challenge Matt Johnson for 4th, which looks like he's going to take that position with ease. Fitzwater to P4, which makes it a 1-2-3-4 for those Rambler Racing Dodges. How about that right there? Great move for Fitzwater, climbing all the way from his starting position in the deep 20s. Of course, he's got a couple of seconds before he joins his other 3 teammates. And they'll be like, wonder what took you so long there, pal. But that's Fitzwater's mission. He's up in the position now. Johnson slips back to 5th. Then you got Joe Alonso, Luke Martin in the 54. His first appearance up here into the top 10. DJ Curtis, his strong home run continues in 9th. And a battle for the top 10. Cody Lamas, he's also started mid-pack as he's going to try and take that position from the 03 of Beholtz. And then you got Joseph Strigley and Aiden Smith. That is the top 12. Haven't talked much about this driver yet, but here's your other second place points, man. Jesse Turner in car 94 in that X-Side ride, going by Saber Fox for the 12th position. And it looks like the couple of No Sport teammates are going to push him along right there. That's good. But Turner, so far he's having a much better outcome over James Ellison, who's all the way down at 33rd. So as long as Freeze is up there, Turner looks like he'll solidly occupy that second place points position where he is now. Speaking of Nova Sport, you got Aiden Smith and Winston Wilson right here, sandwiching the 46 of Fox. Here you got Major Robinson and Charles Samper battling for 16th. Samper's worked his way up right there. Here's Matthew Hubert, the rookie in the 12 car for pole position racing. He's running comfortably in 18th. Derek Hamill in 19th, and there's Zayden Davidson. He has cracked into the top 20, trying to go for a move underneath the 99. Behind Davidson, here's Shade Eves, who looks like he's making his way to pit road. Yes, he is. Green flag pit stops might be starting here with Shade Eves. Oh, trouble off turn number 4. Big trouble. On his side and over goes the 61 of Ellison. Oh, and Gutierrez slams into him hard. My goodness. Big time problems out of turn number 4 here at Kansas Speedway. James Ellison with a hard tumble. Griffin Lepo McDermott, he was also involved in the 90. I believe Sean Ard was also collected in that, but the pace car comes out for this first caution on lap 44. Bishop is the leader with Freeze and Roush second and third. Oh my goodness, everybody. Oh, Lane Sanders, he also got damaged too in car 86. And there you just see all the smoke and the tire marks that these guys left. And there's Gutierrez, the one who hit the 61 while he was in midair. What a crazy wreck this was. We'll have to take a look at that again. So what exactly happens to Ellison and the rest of these guys coming out of turn 4? Oh, looks like the 90 had a problem right in front of the 61. And Ellison, with no time to react, gets piled into and turned over. And then boom, along comes Gutierrez to give him one final shot right at the end. Following along with Griffin Lepo McDermott on this angle. But coming off before the 90 just slams on the brakes for whatever reason. And Ellison can't react that quickly enough to that. There was no way he could. You see Sanders and R become collected in the deal. And then right there, Angel Gutierrez tried to shoot the gap and miss it, but was just unlucky and couldn't get through. One more look at this from up above. But as the 90 gets off turn 4, you see him get off the pace very abruptly. It's not sure whether he had a tire going flat or if he was trying to come to pit road, but nonetheless, that's what's going to cause this whole thing to start. And it was the contact from the 86 that's going to send the 61 upside down. Wow, awesome job by Christian Vargas getting by that wreck on the outside. Fantastic for him. But then back here, you see Angel Gutierrez goes low, Caleb Rose goes high, and that was just the wrong decision for the 51. And I am so glad that impact with Ellison was more towards the front of the car and not towards the center where Ellison was. Otherwise, that could have ended very, very badly. But thankfully, from what I hear, both drivers did climb out of their cars. They are okay. But for James Ellison, the driver who came into this race tied for second in the points, this is one ride that he's never going to forget for quite some time. First on board is from Lane Sanders. He got to see quite a lot of this accident. Sanders' teammate Christian Vargas ended up missing it. Check out the move he makes around the outside. Angel Gutierrez is on board as he is not able to escape this one in car 51. And the wildest on board gets saved for last. James Ellison is thankfully all right after this. Anyway, this caution will give everybody else their first guaranteed pit stop of the afternoon. They were approaching their fuel window anyway, so this caution timed out well for these guys. But getting off of pit road, look at all four of the Rambler cars exiting pit road nearly at the same time. But it appears the 98 of Bishop will just get the edge over Fitzwater in the 7, followed by Roush, then Freeze. Almost ready to get this race going again after the field gets to breathe for a couple laps. Ellison and Gutierrez are both done for the day. They are in the garage, while Apo McDermott lost a lap while his team was completing repairs. But again, all four Rambler cars control the field here. They occupy the front two rows, and I bet you they're not willing to let go of that control just yet. The 98 and the 7 get underway as we're back to racing here on lap 48. Bishop once again mirrors the very start that he did in this race. He keeps the lead. Fitzwater in second, but now it's Freeze and Roush left to fend off the rest of the pack for positions 3 and 4. And right now, the best of the rest right now is the 11 of Joseph Srigley, who's broken up into the top 5. That's nice for him. He started around mid-pack. Aiden Smith is right here. Jesse Turner up here into the party. The hometowner DJ Curtis. Saber Fox in the shot as well. You also got Zachary DeLello, which I don't believe has entered the top 10 until just now. He's here in the 15 car. And then the top driver for Spa, Major Robinson, he's also entered the scene. But up ahead, the Rambler cars break into single file formation. And just something about the way that these four cars are controlling this race. It's like they've got the field under a spell or something. And hardly anyone's been able to break free from it. But now the 11 of Srigley is going to try to, with Turner behind him trying to help. 94 looks like he may give a push to that 11 to send him on through. And there's 4 wide going into turn 1. DeLello way up on the outside. That's Matt Johnson, the 88, way down on the bottom. And he's going to make the move work. As it looks like the 15 of DeLello, he's going to be on the losing end. As he continues to struggle on the very outside line, and he's definitely outside the top 10 now. More 4 wide on the racetrack. You got Hamill, Delvecchio, Wilson, and Curtis. And oh, there's contact between those two. Down on the apron, back up onto the track. Into the wall goes the 66 and the 80. Delvecchio and Wilson dragging along the wall between turns 3 and 4. And they are still unable to get off each other. Who's going to break free? Who even knows at this point? Delvecchio is actually going to nip him at the line, and now she's going to go for a partial spin. So fortunate nobody else was collected, but that is going to draw a caution to come out on lap 54. Yellow number 2 flies for the day, and it looks like Bishop is just going to keep the lead over Freeze at the line for the second caution of the afternoon between 2 of the rookies here in the series. So you see 4 wide down the back stretch at Kansas just isn't going to work, and this is proof of it. There's Hamill getting into the 66 of Delvecchio. They sail down into turn 3, and Winston Wilson is the unlucky soul that Delvecchio slams up into. As they both get stuck with each other against the wall, riding the turn, and then onto the front stretch, which this was quite bizarre, the 66 and the 80 being locked together like that. There they cross the line, and there the 66 goes partially around to draw that caution, as that's double trouble for Joseph Srigley Racing, as she's got damage just like her teammate James Ellison did, along with damage to the 80 car too. Oh, and an engine failure for Zachary DeLello in the 15. On the Aaron's Dream Machine, looks like it's no longer going to cook today. He made it up to at least the top 15. He was looking really good for a while, but now barely halfway through this race, DeLello won't get a chance to really show it, and that's a bummer for that pole position racing crew. And indeed, DeLello is not going to make a call for this restart. It looks like he'll finish P41 today. But as you see up in the top 5, it is no longer a Rambler 1, 2, 3, 4. Joseph Strigley, as well as Jesse Turner, have broken up the command that they had slightly. Roush is going to restart this one in 6th. But you got the 98, the 21, and the 7 still left to show their strength. Back to racing on lap 60, and looks like Freeze is going to get the nose ahead of Bishop. Well, at least that's one lap led that Freeze is going to get this afternoon, but he's not going to be able to maintain it. Bishop, that 98 Dodge is just going to power on by on the inside. Freeze and Fitzy left to battle for second. Turner and Strigley 4th and 5th. You also got some new players up here. Major Robinson up here in the top 10, and right behind the 85 is last week's winner, Zayden Davidson, and he's got help too from his teammate Saber Fox. She's got a lot of motivation this afternoon, like I mentioned. So both these two cats from S3 hoping to make some magic happen in the 46's homeland. And then you got the 94, the 11, the 85. The longer they stay 3 wide like this, the more they're just going to let the Rambler trio get away from them. Now the 85 and the 94 are going to go on by him. And where is the 50 of Roush? Oh, he's falling way back now. He's fallen in the clutches of Hairgel Alonso beneath him, fighting for about 15th place. That is not what Roush wanted to have happen at all. We'll have to see where he gets scored at the line this time, but Roush has lost touch with his teammates. And as the scoring updates, he is now 16th on the track, and he's still on the outside with Hubert beneath him in the 12 car. So he'll have to find a way fast to get reconnected with his teammates. Otherwise, he's just going to keep dropping like a rock and losing spots. Now out of turn number 4, Fitzy has a run underneath his teammate. Here he comes, looking to make a bid for the lead for the first time today. Who will Robinson go with? Robinson in the 85. Looks like he may go with the 7. And Fitzy looking to wrestle the lead away that Bishop has held for so long. Looks like he may do it going into turn 3. He is in the preferred groove. Bishop still trying to resist that challenge, but no, it's going to be Moot and Fitzy. On lap 69 will take the lead for the first time. And Bishop is now the one doing the chasing. Here comes Robinson, Freeze, and Davidson, the top 5, all running together. And way behind these guys for 6th place on, you got Joseph Strigley, Jesse Turner, Nick Breeding showing his face up in the top 10 right here for the first time, I want to say. Awesome drive by that 00 Ford. But now it's Robinson's turn. He may have a challenge underneath Fitzwater now. This whole race being led by the Rambler team. I don't believe a driver from any other team has led a lap today. But here's Robinson trying to change that. 178 off the corner, 185. Looks like Fitzy may just have enough momentum on the outside to buy back the 85, and yes, he will. But still a good try for Major to at least, scare him into losing the lead. It's not going to work that time, as he's going to drop back to 3rd. And the downfall for the 50 car continues as Roush is struggling to even hang on to a top 20 position as he crosses the line in 20 at that time by. But Roush just has not been able to get down on the inside line and make the momentum work. He's just been struggling on the top side. His car must not be handling good up there as it once did. But Daniel Voiles goes by him in the 24. Same thing with Christian Vargas. And you see Roush, he's just losing more and more speed off the corner. And that allows Alonso to catch up to him in the 27. And yes, Roush 22nd. About to lose that position to Alonso. And there's the 80 of Wilson. He's fully repaired and making up more positions now. but that sucks to see for Roush. While his teammates are up in the top 5, he is just falling into no man's land. It looks like it's just getting worse. Meanwhile, Robinson's been patiently working his way up to Fitzy in the 7 car, bringing the rest of the pack with him. Matter of fact, he's going to carry that run down into turn number 1 and fight for the lead again. There goes the Advent Health Ford Fusion down on the bottom underneath Fitzy's Foster's machine. And Robinson will get help from Davidson in the 35, a Chevy. But Davidson knows that these Rambler cars have been in the lead for far too long. It looks like the 85 will be clear. And after 80 straight laps of this race being led by a Rambler car, a Spot driver leads lap 81. Robinson gets a lap-led bonus point for today, but Fitzwater, he wants to do a crossover. Robinson, Fitzwater, Davidson, and Bishop, the top 4, all trying to wrestle for the lead position. Oh, I see smoke. Somebody's blowing up on the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, and it's Caleb Rose. Oh, not what the hometown team wanted at all. Furry Row Motorsports. They were hoping to make it to the end of this race clean and carry on, but it looks like on lap 82, that's not going to happen for the 78 bunch. Sucks to see for those guys. As Caleb Rose in his 4th career start. He was doing pretty good, but looks like they'll have to look forward to Richmond and try and do better there. In the meantime, there you see Robinson keeps the lead as we have no yellow flag for that. Getting close to 20 laps to go, and if you are among the top 10 drivers at this stage of the game, your odds of winning this race are pretty good, and right now it's Robinson who has the best odds of them all. Again, amazing job for him to wrestle the lead away from the Rambler squad the way he did. And right now he's got Spot in a winning position. Oh, hang on, he's slowing down. We've got guys coming to pit road at lap 87. It's about that time for these guys to be hitting their fuel window. They were all last on pit road at lap 45. And here they are. Robinson brings Fitzwater, Turner, Fox, Hamill, and others down with him for their final stops of the afternoon. And more are still to come. And as we cut back to the leaders, it's Zayden Davidson who has stolen the lead now in that 35 car. And is he going to choose to pit here? He is not. Bishop stays out. All these guys behind him, they all stay out. Well, DJ Curtis comes down, but he is the only one to pit here on lap 88. Very interesting. And here comes some of these other guys off pit road. But the 35 and the 98, as well as a whole lot more, they're going to try and extend it a little bit longer right here. And now it looks like the 35 is going to signal his way to pit road. Yep, Davidson will choose to pit right here. Bishop will try and stretch it out even more. Hubert as well in the 12. He's going to stretch his fuel distance. We also got Breeding, Freeze, Johnson, Strigley, Cloud, and Rigger on lap 89. They all come down. Whoa, look out in turn number 2. Lane Sanders has just crashed. Oh, and he gets hit hard by Delvecchio. And Fitzwater is also collected. Zachary Fitzwater, who was running second before this pit cycle began, he has also become involved. The 66 of Delvecchio is a mess. Oh, just look at the damage to the 7 of Fitzwater. Oh, as the 27 of Alonso comes in and rear ends him. And now Alonso's got a bunch of damage on that Dodge Charger. And the caution is back out here at Kansas Speedway right as the green flag pit cycle was ending. There's Delvecchio and Sanders sitting wrecked in the pits. And not everybody came down pit road. Who's even leading this thing? Scoring shows Louis Dubois as your race leader, with Winston Wilson in second. And what a huge break this is going to be for the 92 and the 80. This should definitely throw them into the mix for this race win now. And funny enough, 35 laps ago, we saw the 80 car get stuffed into the turn 3 wall, and now look at the position he's in. Oh, as you see the wreck number 7 of Fitzwater, I'm sure he's not one bit happy about what just happened off of turn number 2. And as Dubois crosses the line, it looks like that'll give us just 9 cars on the lead lap. What a shakeup this is here at Kansas. After they finish their pit stops, we'll have to take a look at what advantage they have right after we check out a replay. And would you have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen? Talk about irony, as it's going to be the 80 of Wilson who gets into the left rear of the 86 and takes him out in turn 2. And as he slides down the track, there's Delvecchio and Fitzwater trying to miss him, but they're not quite as lucky as they both go for a spin down the back straightaway. as there's the 86 sitting in the middle of the track. Thankfully, nobody hit him. But as for the 80 of Wilson goes, that's one creative way to get the caution you need. And as for the 7 of Fitzwater, he had a wonderful shot to win this race, as there he gets clobbered by Alonso at the end. Instead, he's going to be left feeling massively disappointed, and his day is absolutely ruined by this. Oh no, look at the 89 of Aiden Smith. Looks like he's got an engine failure right here. And I'm afraid it looks like this could be a day ender for him and that team. Sucks to see for Smith. He was scored 19th at the line last time by. Looking to have a good afternoon happen for him. And this is also not good news for him either. He was 4th in points coming into this race today. And it looks like that points position is going to disappear. And he is not going to be able to make it 15 laps from the finish. And him and the 89 team will have to pack up their bags and try their luck next week at their home race in Richmond. So after several laps of the officials trying to sort everything out, they finally got everybody in the right order. Every driver from Vince Freeze on down had to take the wave around, so that means the top 6 cars of Bishop, Hubert, Davidson, Breeding, Wilson, and Dubois all have the best tire advantage, and they're restarting in the first 3 rows. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this race, ladies and gentlemen. Just 12 laps to go here at Kansas. And look at the 12 of Hubert get the jump as we go back to green. How about the rookie from Seattle getting a great launch over the 98, who now falls down to 3rd? But I'm afraid Hubert's lead may not last long. Davidson charges to the inside of the 12th car, and I believe he's going to take the lead back with Bishop helping him out. There's Nick Breeding in 4th. Behind him, it's a feeding frenzy for 5th. Lots of cars 3 by 3. Oh, there's contact, and here we go again. Srigley up and over and into the fence. Oh, and twice he gets clipped again before coming back down to earth. And on lap 96, we are back under caution here at Kansas Speedway. Second violent accident to happen this afternoon to a JSR car. What a wild ride for Srigley. Shade Eves and Scott Roush, those were the 2 that hit the 11 car while he was upside down. Kyle Ringer and the 2 all smoked up and full of damage. Same thing with Turner in the 94, who was having a great day going. And also the 27 of Herijo Alonso, and that's going to be his day done right there also. But the pace car's back out. Bishop is your leader, and we'll have a lot to analyze with this one, as that was one ugly-looking incident. Well, here's our first look at Joseph Srigley's wild ride here on this restart. As they come off of turn 4, they end up going 4 wide. That's pretty dangerous. And it looks like it's contact between the 94 and the 2 below him, which causes the 11 to go hard into the wall and over. And while he's upside down, here's Shade Eves and Scott Roush delivering 2 hard collisions out of that 11 machine, as they both go sliding down into turn number 1, where they both come to rest. Another look at this accident here in slow-mo, but as they race 4 wide off the corner, this is all really going to begin when the 2 of Rigger tries to fit his car between Turner and Srigley, and before he realizes it, the hole starts to close up, and at that point he's got nowhere to go. He clips both the 94 and the 11. They go up and into Vargas as well, and then the 11 gets squeezed into the wall and into the air. What a sight that is to see for these Kansas fans. How ferocious that is. And Srigley ends up catching the caution light as well as the fence with his car. Thankfully, the fence does keep its job and keep him inside the racetrack. And pretty soon, here comes the 47 of Eves to hit him, as well as the 50 of Roush. And those collisions right there, I'm glad, did not hit Srigley in a more vulnerable part of the car, as you also see Alonso and Lamas piling in at the very end of the deal. Jeez Louise. Joseph Srigley, much like his teammate James Ellison, goes for an unforgettable ride here in the Speed Racing Series, one that he will also remember for many seasons to come. Jesse Turner was also second in points coming into this race, but he may not have it anymore after this crash. Kyle Rigger is the one who initiated the first contact in this crash. This is his on board. Next up is Rigger's teammate, Hergel Alonso. Last up is the 11 of Joseph Srigley, whose race ends in an ugly way. Well, we did have to put a brief stop to the race so the officials can fix the fence along the front stretch. But thankfully, everyone involved in that 8-car accident is all right, as well as the fans in the stands. So that is great, great news. But we still have a race here to finish. 29 cars still run on the racetrack. Sean Hart got the courtesy pass. But we got Bishop, Davidson, Hubert, Breeding, Wilson, and Johnson in the first 3 rows. Can any of them do it? 7 more laps left. You're not going to miss a single moment of it, folks, as we are back to action again. RJ Bishop, looking as fast as he's been all day, does his best to stay ahead of his newest competition in Davidson, and he's going to easily clear the 35 going into 3. And Bishop will keep the lead. He'll try his best to hold on to it. Here comes Hubert, mounting a challenge on Davidson for P2 right here. By far, this is the best we've seen out of this rookie since Daytona, and he'll easily go by the 35 per second. Can he maybe challenge for his first win? It's definitely not going to be easy to do it, especially against the defending series champion driving that 98 Dodge. But it looks like going through 3 and 4, Davidson will go back ahead of the 12 car again. How about Winston Wilson in the 80? What can he do right here as he goes up into 4th? What a magnificent comeback for this 80 team after he was stuffed into the turn 3 wall with Angelo Del Vecchio and catching a break on a strategy caution by not pitting when the yellow came out. And here he is up in the top 5, and he's not alone. He's got his teammate Mac Johnson to help him out in that 88 machine. 2 Nova Sport cars up here in the top 5. That's got to be a great form of redemption after Aiden Smith blew his engine earlier. Here comes Johnson with help from Logan Cloud in the 20, who started deep in the field. He'll try and push him past Wilson, and he'll do it. Speaking of starting deep in the field, the 12 of Hubert started down in 35th. And he's looking at a potential podium right here. He's got a lot of distance to make up, though, on the 2 leaders. Cloud, he wants to break up into 5th place, but Wilson looks like he'll try and hold on right there as Robinson, the 85, will push him by. 3 laps to go. Here comes the 88 on the 12 car for 3rd place. And up ahead, I saw the 35 peak down low with the 98. And yes, that's what he's doing. This is getting to be some good action right here, ladies and gentlemen. You've got a Dodge, a Chevy, a Ford, and a Toyota all in the top 4 positions. Davidson rolling through the bottom of the corner, trying to get the edge over your pole sitter and the guy who's led the most laps this afternoon. 2 laps to go, 3 miles left of racing here at Kansas. Davidson gets Bishop at the line, and check out Mac Johnson closing in on the 2 of them. Johnson underneath Bishop, trying to make it a 3-dog fight here for the victory. But Bishop's going to get the momentum on the outside and stay ahead of the 88 car. Unless Johnson can find some speed, the battle for this win may be between the 98 and the 35. To the white flag they come. Can Davidson go back-to-back, or will Bishop find a way to stop him? That 35 driving smoothly through the middle of 1 and 2. But Bishop's not letting him go. Right onto the rear bumper of that 35 Chevy. Bishop trying for one last surge at him. Davidson through 3 and 4. He has the advantage, but here comes Bishop to the inside. Can he reach him? No! Davidson goes 2 in a row. He wins here at Kansas. What an amazing way to cap off round number 5 here this afternoon. It's Zayden Davidson for the second straight time going to victory lane here in the Speed Racing Series presented by Middle Road Energy. Although I'm sure this victory today is definitely a lot more exciting than the first one was. And check that out, he's actually going to stay on the track and take a victory lap here at Kansas Speedway. How cool is that? But this win today definitely did not come easy by any means. He started all the way down in the 26th position. But like a soldier, he stayed patient, he kept his ammunition, and slowly but surely made his way into the right position to fight for the win when it counted. And he executed this win perfectly over the reigning series champion. And this does make him the first driver to get back-to-back victories since his boss, Charles Sanford, did it all the way back in Season 1 when he won 3 in a row. Imagine if Davidson were to pull that off when we go to Richmond next week. That'd be crazy for sure. But most importantly, this should tell you all the size of the fire that this S3 Motorsports team has ignited. They picked themselves up after that rough race at California. They took a good long look in the mirror. They went to work on their program. They came out at Portland swinging, picked up the win out there, and now this dramatic, thrilling victory today here at Kansas Speedway, which I'm sure the fans really love that finish, and they're going to want more of it and maybe have the series come back here for Season 5. Anyway, guys, here's a look at the top 10. Davidson gets the victory over Bishop today. He edges the 98 at the line by just 0.05 of a second. Third and fourth place, a couple career best finishes for Mac Johnson and Matthew Hubert. Well done. And Winston Wilson gets a fifth place finish after his bizarre day. 6th and 7th go to teammates Logan Cloud and Lucas Gaetano. Major Robinson gets 8th. DJ Curtis, a well-deserved 9th place at his home track. And finishing 10th is your points leader of Vince Freeze. Well, ladies and gentlemen, from the wild wrecks we had today to that wild finish, everything about this race was just wild. And I'm definitely glad you all were here to witness it. Next race on the schedule, we're going to head east to Richmond Raceway in Virginia, where we compete out there for round number 6. We definitely encourage you guys to stick around and tune into that race premiere, as we'll see what awaits us out on the short track. Here come your full race results and your point standings following round number 5. One more congratulations to Zayden Davidson on picking up an electrifying second straight win. Seeing you guys over at Richmond for the next race.